south for 18 years after that, then again in 2006. I think the Israelis understand that time is against them in southern Lebanon, hence this sense of real urgency, whatever it takes, whatever the civilian consequences, to do the maximum damage to Hezbollah without being dragged into an occupation which will then put up Israeli casualties. I think, therefore, that there is a time limit there, but the way the Israelis respond to the Iranian missile attack, do they go after economic sites like oil and gas? Do they go after nuclear sites? My own feeling is they probably will not. I think the Americans are pushing very hard against that. And the Israelis know that they cannot alone destroy the Iranian nuclear program.
And the UN on Monday accused Israel of trapping Palestinian civilians in northern Gaza. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Israel says its response against Iran's missile attack earlier this month will be based on its own interests. India and Canada have expelled each other's diplomats as ties worsen over the murder of a Sikh leader in Canada. Google's announced it will fund the construction of 7 small nuclear reactors to power its artificial intelligence plans. And the European Commission presidents expressed support for a controversial return hub policy for asylum seekers. That's the latest feature story. News' Ollie Barrett reporting.
You're listening to KCHW 102.7 FM, Northern Lights Public Radio.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. Some non-emergency procedures have been paused or delayed in Washington hospitals thanks to IV fluid shortages caused by Hurricane Helene. The storm caused significant damage to a key plant in North Carolina that produces about 60% of IV saline solutions in the U.S. A large part of the nation's hospitals, EMS providers, long-term care facilities, and surgery and dialysis centers could see shortages as long as the plant faces disruptions. Tensions are rising between Boeing and the Machinists Union after talks broke down this week. That leaves no end in sight for the month-old strike that's left Boeing stalled and 33,000 workers without a paycheck. And a Turkish Airlines jetliner heading from Seattle to Istanbul made an emergency landing in New York after the captain died on board. The 59-year-old pilot lost consciousness at some point after Flight 204 took off from Seattle on Tuesday night. His co-pilot made the emergency landing, but the captain died before the plane landed. In our last story, Social Security checks will go up 2.5% in January, a cost of living increase that translates to an average raise of more than $50 a month. But many are calling it inadequate at a time when they say even McDonald's is expensive. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7 on a Tuesday with Scott and my beautiful, lovely, talented sister Val.
Wow, what do you want?
I'm a little short this month, and I'm hoping you could help your little brother out.
Well, I figured with an intro like that, something must be up.
I think I mentioned this before. Whenever I'd go over to Val's house for one of her parties and she had friends along, they'd automatically assume I was the older one.
I don't get that either. I don't think you look older.
Well, gray on the face probably helps.
Well, that's true. That's true. I don't have any gray on the face yet.
I'm 58, but I walk like I'm 80. It's true.
I'm not far behind you on that, though, either.
All right. Ken already checking in this morning, saying good morning, KCHW, and then following up with, aren't you short every day, Scott?
Oh,
Ken, I love you.
Shut up, Wesley.
There you go. All right, getting started on Tuesday. A little weather. You guys have some sun this morning. I think it's increasing clouds in the afternoon. It looks hazy out there right now. Yeah, that's right. I can see all the way from Maine. 70.
It sure doesn't look like it's going to be sunny here. It is there's little tiny spots of blue sky, but it's pretty cloudy.
All right. Well, you got more moving in. 70 for high. 50 tonight with periods of rain at 80%. It's going to be horrible. Cause a bunch of mud because all that dust you guys have. I expect around a quarter inch, so good amount of rain. 59 for your Wednesday, 36 for an overnight low, cloudy skies. Partly cloudy Thursday, 55 and 28. Partly cloudy Friday, 53 and 35. Saturday right now, partly cloudy, 57 and 39. Heat all the way up to 60 on Sunday with mostly cloudy skies. And looking ahead for a full week, we have morning showers supposedly for next Monday. So much cooler temperatures. Val, your nieces are out. You're going to be so jealous. Now, the weather's horrible, but they've been just because of the leftover remnants of hurricanes. But they went on a New England States Halloween tour.
Oh, my gosh. I'm jealous already. You don't have to say any more than that.
They've hit haunted houses in Portland, Maine. They went into Massachusetts, New Hampshire. They just been having a blast, but hitting theme parks and Halloween haunted houses and stuff, and just having a good time. Sammy trying to get over her fear of everything.
That is so awesome.
How fun would that be? I'm so jealous.
Now, am I thinking wrong, or did Lindsay go to Salem
A couple of years ago?
Well? A couple years ago, yeah. I was
really
thinking that she'd gone to Salem. Yeah, I've just always heard that you do not want to even try to go around Halloween.
I think they went at the beginning of October, so yeah.
Yeah, so.
Crazy.
But that would be a fun one, too. So, I'm extremely jealous.
I knew you would be. All right, real quick, kids, for breakfast today, it's Tuesday. That means they have a variety of cold cereals to choose from, parfait or breakfast on a stick or super bakery bread for the kids this morning. And then for a lunch today, let me get to the right date, taco soup, a roll, and some fruits and veggies.
Ooh, taco soup. That sounds good.
Every time I do the breakfast and lunch, I wish I was still a kid so I didn't have to cook for myself.
I wonder if you can just show up and say, can I pay for some of your taco soup so I don't have to cook tonight?
Years and years ago, like decades, you could pay $2, I know, at the Springdale grade school and come have lunch with your kid. That was
I remember that
deal.
too.
Yeah, pretty good deal. All right, we made it through weather, what the kids are having for breakfast and lunch. Let's see what else. We got a few news stories. I'm going to deliver a few. Did you happen to get the stuff I was asking you about that
Yes.
inflamed?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to do headlines off the Yahoo Yodel. Val's got a couple stories, and I always tried, me and Val really into science, and we like to share that stuff. I picked out a couple cool space things that are happening. First, armed man in North Carolina arrested on charges related to threats to female workers. Val's going to cover more of this and where people got stirred up and how they got stirred up. Let's see. Authorities said yesterday that it has made hurricane relief increasingly political. This is ridiculous. Authorities said the man acted alone after initial reports of militia hunting female workers. Agency had to pause door-to-door visits to impacted residents because of the threats, but later resumed them. Agency is trying to highlight more of its relief work amid the spread of unfounded claims and after receiving other threats. To combat the rumors, it's even created a webpage that fact-checks the most common ones. But people that like conspiracy rumors aren't going to believe that website.
Of course not.
That'd be too easy. All right. Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets 23-20, but the play of the night goes to Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who threw a 52-yard Hail Mary pass for a touchdown.
Wow.
That is incredible. Eastern cold front is expected to hit much of the central and eastern U.S. this week, dropping temperatures from Kansas to Vermont. Some areas of Midwest could even experience sub-freezing conditions. We were only supposed to have a low last night of 38, and I woke up to ice on everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. Armed man arrested near Donald Trump's rally in California over the weekend denied the arresting sheriff's claim that he wanted to assassinate the former president. Federal authorities haven't yet found evidence of a plot. California, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a controversial bill that allows state regulators to oversee oil refinery inventories in an effort to prevent future fuel shortages, which can cause gas prices to spike. They got huge gas prices there, but we have surpassed them in Washington. We're better in California.
Well, there is on the ballot to try and repeal the carbon emissions tax that has increased our gasoline prices by about 50 cents a gallon. So we'll see what comes of that. But what I told Brad is, remember when we voted in a $30 license tab renewal, and they immediately found loopholes in that now they charge you for gross vehicle weight and all this other garbage. So they've gotten their fees right back up to where they wanted them to anyway. So that's what I was saying about the carbon tax. Yeah, we may get it repealed, but they're going to find some other way to keep that money coming in for them.
I think with the way taxes have went, and especially with your current governor in Washington, it is a shame because we came into this legalization of marijuana, bringing in huge taxes. There shouldn't have been a need for a tax increase for at least a decade on anything.
I know. And
where's the money going?
Right. They keep trying to get in a state income tax, which we've never had. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they look at the taxes they charge on alcohol in the state. Tell you buy a bottle, you can add about 25% onto that cost of that bottle for all the state taxes. And so between that and marijuana, they shouldn't need a dime from us.
I sure hope we get a better governor, because he did not protect us from taxes at all. In fact, he's tax crazy.
He has been, which is interesting that he is, when he leaves office, he's moving to Idaho. He evidently can't afford the taxes in Washington state either.
Does he know he's a lefty? Because they're not going to like him there.
No.
All right. Yeah, his security detail has a code name for him.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Code name, Hardhead. Hard hat.
Yeah.
All right. Early voting begins in Georgia for the 2024 election. That's a little crazy. Actor Al Pacino's memoir, Sonny Boy, is out. Among its contents, he talks about filming The Godfather. Oh, this is something for me. Victoria's Secret fashion show, 7 p.m. Eastern on Amazon Live.
Oh.
In the Major League
didn't have Amazon Live, but now you will.
I'm buying that. All right, the MLB Major League Playoffs, the Guardians face the Yankees. ALCS Game 2, 7:38 Eastern on TBS. And let's see, FBI International, and FBI Most Wanted all premiere new seasons beginning at 8 tonight on CBS. Yeah, it won't be too much, I promise. It could be. All right, Val, you had a couple stories I sent you digging for. Would you like to share those?
Yeah, well, let's start off because you were talking about the hurricanes earlier. And one of the reasons why we have these threats over FEMA and other organizations, including meteorologists, is because of the wild conspiracy theories going on out there. And one of them is being perpetuated by Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican representative from Georgia.
Of course it is.
Surprise, surprise. So she evidently posted on X last week that, yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. So she is perpetuating the conspiracy that they, whoever she thinks they are, I'm sure it's Democrats or liberals, can control the weather, and that they are sending hurricanes to these different areas. I don't know why she thinks that, you know, the hurricanes aren't just targeting Republicans, but
can we do that? Sorry.
So once again, her colleagues are taking a step back and not outright saying she's cray-cray, but pretty much implying it. So you had the representative from Florida, Carlos Gimenez, who said that, newsflash, humans cannot control or create hurricanes. We had another Republican in the House of Representatives saying anyone who thinks they can needs to have their head examined. Well, we have known for a long time that Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to have her head examined.
Hold on. I got to play this again.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Code name, Hardhead. Hat. Hard hat.
A representative from New York said her rhetoric doesn't even dignify a response other than to say, of course, no one can control the weather. And finally, the Republican from Nebraska said, I think enough has already been said. I ignore her.
Space lasers. She added to that story at like a few days later, that this whole space laser thing, Jewish space lasers. She added that in there, too, as part of their way to control the weather. This is a conspiracy theory that's really run amok. And we do try to control the weather, science has, through seeding clouds to make it rain. Now, they're open about this when they try it. It doesn't work very well. But then people claim like areas that have been inundated with rain and flooding like California. Then the conspiracy theorists come out and say, oh, my God, they're controlling the weather and they're doing this on purpose. Well, if we could control the weather, we probably would, send rain to places that needed it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what I thought was one of the best comments I'd heard by another House Republican is, so she thinks we have no impact on the climate, but somehow control the weather.
Okay.
So the ones hollering the loudest that climate change is not real somehow think that we can control the weather.
Excellent.
So it's just insane. But all of this rhetoric has really caused problems. We're seeing that in, for a meteorologist to be getting death threats and harassed because she is making people believe that they somehow impact this, can somehow control the weather, can send hurricanes where they want to. As always, I feel like so much of this rhetoric is just dangerous.
It is. You got somebody out there that was armed hunting FEMA workers that are out there just trying to help.
Right. And there's so much of it is being perpetuated by our politicians. And to make this issue a political one is disgusting and disgraceful and dishonoring to the people that are suffering through this right now. Instead of saying, what can we do? We're going to point fingers and, blame FEMA, blame meteorologists, blame whatever the other party is disgusting.
To use it for politics or for gain or anything like that, it is disgusting.
And just to promote misinformation as far as the whole $750 check from FEMA, and that's all people were getting. No, that was initial, so you can get a hotel room, or you can get some food, or you can get some water, and just to be lying about this, not only, you're making people suffer even more than they already are, and then when we have the opportunity to send money, get all of that figured out, you've got the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, refusing to call Congress back into session over this. And so he
said they could even wait till after the election.
Yes.
Well, who has you in their pocket, Mr. Johnson? Is it somebody with orange hair?
Yeah, that's coming out of the Speaker of the House's mouth. And then the person running for president on the Republican side is saying, oh no, FEMA is doing nothing. No, Congress is doing nothing because you will not call them back into session to help take care of this. So he was asked point blank, Speaker Johnson, on Face the Nation. I know he was asked point blank on Meet the Press, are you going to call Congress back into session? And he refused to answer. And then for this to come out and say, well, it can wait until after the election. We're still, 3 weeks out from today for the election? So you want these people to wait 3 weeks?
I hope people in Georgia, people in Mike Johnson's state, I mean, they are not operating in the best interest of their constituents or the country. And I hope people remember when these. I'm going to move to Georgia just to vote against Marjorie Taylor Greene. This kind of insanity needs to be stopped. I mean, it really does. The fact that they haven't tried to impeach her in their own house for being a habitual liar. What I'm really curious about, and this might be off topic a little bit, I would like to go to her X profile and see when she makes these ridiculous comments about controlling the weather and what's happening with the hurricane. If Trump puts a like on them, a thumbs up,
or if he retweets them.
Yes. I guess I need to dig a little deeper, but it's gross.
Yeah.
All right.
But you see Republicans saying the same thing, especially the Republicans in Florida. But Paulina Luna from Florida, the representative from Florida, Republican there, she says if Congress goes into a special session, we can get it passed immediately. This needs to happen. Speaker Johnson, call us back. So I just see the border deal that had bipartisan support that was shot down because of someone who wanted that to wait until after the election. We see this issue, let's wait till after the election. When does the what's good for the country, what's good for your constituents, trump what is good for Trump?
This is something he screams about. This is election interference.
Yes.
It's governmental interference. It came out last week. Multitude of phone calls to Russian President Putin between Trump, and it is illegal. There's actually an act, a Logan Act, that prevents politicians that are running for office from negotiating with world leaders, and he's obviously out doing that. So.
Well, and he sent PPEs and other things to Russia during the height of the pandemic when we did not have enough here in the States. So
it goes deep. It goes deep, and it's something that's continuing. And I guess we all have to sit back and wait and see if it's going to get worse or better after November 5th.
Well, and it was interesting, the Logan Act, somebody had said the other day, Obama spoke to the Prime Minister of England. Yeah, after he was out of office. Oh my God, the Prime Minister of England. It's not like he was speaking to Putin.
Well, that's not a violation anyways because he wasn't running for office.
Oh, okay. I thought it was any past president was supposed to
that could be. Don't quote me on that. I was thinking it was people running for office, but I could be wrong. We don't need people out negotiating for the government or trying to line up favors before they're elected.
Yeah, it's just it shows the state of our politics right now, and I would like to think that it will be better the morning of November 6th. But I have very little confidence in that.
I think you'd agree with this statement, Val. We've been around for a while. Both you just turned. I won't say it. But we're over 50, so we've seen a good amount of this. Worst state of politics in your entire life right now? Yes or no?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think there's so many people that feel like they're without a party right now, because they can't support either one, or they are not the Trump Republican Party, or they don't feel like that the Democrats are representing them, maybe is the right word. So yeah, it is just that time in history where you're like, oh my gosh, at what point do we get this straightened out and figured out and be back to electing someone whose policies agree with yours, not who they get attacked for their character and their sex and the crazy things they say and it gets down to truly being legitimate policy, not made up stuff, not more conspiracy theories, not more lies, but let's talk about facts. Oh, there's a kitty.
I just got a kiss.
Yeah.
I feel like the house is
So-
on fire. She keeps standing on my leg, looking up at me like there's something critically wrong. And now
She
she's up
sees
here.
dead people.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe her litter box is full.
Time for a snack.
She got breakfast.
That doesn't stop my cats.
Yeah, that's true. That's
we
true.
have breakfast, and we have second breakfast, and we have early lunch, then we have lunch.
And she doesn't bother me while I'm doing the show, but she's literally, over the past 5 minutes, stood up on her hind legs and put her hands on my leg and looked at me like the house is on fire, like several times. So I'm kind of concerned about something.
Jimmy fell in the well.
Well, maybe the front door blew open, and she's like, "I'm not supposed to go outside, and the door's open," because she's one of those kind of cats. So.
Oh, funny.
All right. Well, you finished up there. I interrupted there.
No, I guess that's really all I have to say about this. And I hope that it's young people that step up and say, what you old people are doing with our country and with our politics
is wrong,
is not right. And I think that a lot of young people, there's several issues that are really on the ballot that aren't on the ballot necessarily. I think we're going to see so many young people step up. At least I hope so, because as Brad said, we kind of mess this thing up. It's kind of up to the younger generation to start stepping up for politics and getting things figured out and doing what's right for the country and for women and for men and for people with different orientations, all of that, to be heard and represented and honored and all of that.
Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean they don't have rights.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Unless you'd like yours taken away, too.
Well, that doesn't seem to... It's like, oh my gosh, they're going to take away my guns. And women are like, oh my gosh, you're taking away my rights. So it has to go both ways, people.
All right. Thank you so much, Val. Woo, woo. I let you soapbox.
I'll try to get off of it without hurting a hip.
Okay. Just jump down. All right. I had a couple stories one's very important. This is going to take a second. 10 million pounds of beef has just been recalled. Have you heard about this?
10 million or 10 million
10
pounds?
million pounds of beef. USDA continuing to update the list of affected products. It looks like it went into frozen food. Frozen food that you probably have in your freezer. Frozen food brand names you need to be worried about. You can go to this website to find out if the stuff in your fridge is okay, by lot numbers and things like that. FSIS.gov. FSIS.gov. You're not going to believe this. Food from Fresh Express, Rayo's, Michelangelo's, Boston Market, Atkins, Dole, Jenny Craig, El Monterey. They do all the Spanish foods, burritos and stuff like that. Don Poncho's, Ready Meals, Amazon Kitchen, Taylor Farms, Giant Eagle brand, Kroger brand, which could include Safeway, same company, H-E-B brand, Home Chef, Meyer brand, Racetrack brand, Rally's, Save Mart brand, Trader Joe's, Wegmans brand, Central Eats, Reds, Udi's, that's UDIS, Great Value, Walmart, Gordon Choice, Michelina's, the little tiny, usually $1 meals. Mm-hmm. Good Gather, Little Salad Bar, Signature Select from Safeway, Market Side, Amazon Fresh, Contessa Premium Foods, Whitson's Culinary Group, and the pictures, just a ridiculous amount of frozen foods. And when they say Signature brand, that's all the generic frozen foods at Safeway.
Wow.
So if you have, everybody probably has, if you eat frozen foods and don't cook everything from scratch, you probably have some of this in your fridge. So you should visit that website, fsis.gov. All right, make sure.
And it's contaminated, you said?
It is contaminated. It would say it says sandwich wraps and salads, the primary prepared foods affected by the recall, and it is not saying here Listeria.
Okay.
Yeah, Listeria. It says routine testing found evidence of Listeria montogenes in Bruce Pack ready-to-eat poultry, which can cause a listerious infection if consumed. That's all I'm seeing as far as the disease. But the document the USDA just put out about this, 326 pages of information.
Wow. And was that poultry or was it beef?
Looks like both.
Chicken and beef.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you wonder how it got affected, that both types of meat were affected in that.
I can be wrong. So when they have a few pictures of different frozen foods, and they all contain chicken. But in this story, it doesn't say which meat you shouldn't eat. It's just talking about the products themselves. Signs of listeria include fever, muscle aches, headaches, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, convulsions, diarrhea, other gastrointestinal symptoms. It can result in miscarriage, life-threatening for newborns, and can even result in death for compromised people. So,
wow.
All right, I was starting to get worried. I had like the first 8 on that list.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. All right. 2 men that were at the rally when Trump got shot in the ear, suing the Secret Service and maybe others. They're trying to determine who they're going to go after, saying that the Secret Service failed them on that day in July, and local police, that the security was way too lax. So,
wow. Huh.
All right. NASA's Europa Clipper, you like this one, Val, embarked on a long voyage to Jupiter where it's going to investigate Europa, a moon with an enormous subsurface ocean that may have conditions to support life. Spaceship launched on Monday aboard a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. Let's see. It's got to travel 1.8 million miles, and it should return around sometime in 2026, it looks like, maybe. All right.
Okay.
Cool. Kind of fun. So it's great to learn about what else is going on in our solar system. And what if you could actually harvest the water from there? That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah. It'd be interesting, though, the microbes and whatever that we've never even heard of. Or the problem is this gets into the science fiction where they bring it back to Earth and then it ends up wiping out the human race because we don't have no immunities to it.
All right, supermoon. No, it's not me on Val's camera.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Supermoon's going to rise Wednesday night into Thursday morning, be the brightest of all the full moons in 2024. All right, so if you're into that kind of stargazing stuff, supermoon Wednesday night.
We might be clouded up. We might not get to see it.
It looks like you will be clouded up. Let's see. There was one more. Stargazers hoping to get a glimpse of some shooting stars are in luck in the coming days as the Orionid meteor shower forecast to peak next week.
Oh, okay. Well, the other night, because we've been hearing about the Northern Lights and how they're being seen all the way to Texas, I think, and for the most part, we have not been able to see them with a naked eye, at least at the time that we're outside. And so you can pull up your camera and see them. But the other night we walked out and you could actually see them with a naked eye. It was pretty cool.
All right. Wow. Keep those eyes covered, Val.
I know, because they're naked.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to bits and breaks this morning. And Val's going to kick it off with today's first joke. Those other things we said to try and be funny were not jokes. This is actually a real joke.
This is a real joke.
Yeah.
2 elderly gentlemen from a retirement home were sitting on a bench under a tree when one turns to the other and says, "Sam, I'm 83 years old and I'm just full of aches and pains. I know you're about my age. How do you feel?" Sam says, "Well, I just feel just like a newborn baby." Sam says, "Really? Like a baby?" And yes, the reply was, "Yeah, no hair, no teeth, and I think I just wet myself."
I love that feeling.
What's that warm sensation?
Watch me on the webcam. All right. Man is sitting on a sofa watching TV when he hears his wife say from the kitchen, "What would you like for dinner, love? Chicken, beef, or lamb?" The man replies, "Thank you, I'll have chicken." The wife blurts out, "Shut up, you're having soup. I was talking to the dog." Sounds like your house.
Oh, it does.
All right. Val's got the tweet of the week.
All right. Just because what? This isn't me for sure. Just because people choose not to drink doesn't automatically mean they're no fun. This is a separate choice, which I've also made, said this person.
That's why it's the tweet of the week. It didn't have to be from you.
Yeah,
Okay.
It didn't have to be. Yeah,
No, okay.
I'm catching up. So
Yay.
anyway. Oh goodness. Anyway, that's how you feel, doesn't it? I mean, you've kind of chosen not to drink, but you can also choose whether you're going to have fun or not.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Although, to go along with that, if you're sober and you're with a bunch of drunk people, it's kind of hard to have fun. It really is. You're just not on the same.
It's hard to listen to the same story for the 12th time.
Yeah, you're not on the same simplistic
when you're
level.
sober enough. Yeah, when you're sober enough to realize that you've heard it for 12 times. So, yeah.
All right. I looked at your horoscope for today, folks, and here it comes. You should be ready for today because your horoscope says hard work pays off eventually, but procrastination will pay off right now. All right, and then you can do this on Facebook too, and we will read your response if you post it. But Val, question for you: if you had to eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's kind of hard. I was thinking like something simple like pizza, because it kind of, at least you get all your food groups. But my favorite would probably be like some sort of pasta or something. I don't know. That's a tough one. You just think about how it sounds good for about a week, but then after that, you'd be like, oh my God, another pizza.
You know what I would pick? Is top ramen with an egg. Because it worked all the way through college. Never got sick of it. I probably did. But.
That's a tough one. I mean, maybe if you chose pizza, it doesn't mean that you can't get pizza with different toppings.
That's right. See how you're working it?
Yeah, there's a loophole on most things.
All right, Val has cool statements about autumn.
Oh, all right. The colors of fall are really starting to show. I imagine back there, even probably more than here. Reminds me of that sport coat the boss is always wearing.
With like the patchy one with all the browns.
Yeah. Another one that came in. This is really my favorite time of the year. Cool enough to turn off the air conditioner. Warm enough to still have to drive to work in my boxer briefs.
Val. Don't go all Marjorie Taylor Greene. You don't even have a job.
I know it. I just drive around in my boxer briefs. Real simple lesson for finding the perfect Halloween pumpkin. Thump it with your finger. If you hear it thump back, it's haunted.
That's how I pick my pumpkins.
Right. Wouldn't that freak you out though?
Yeah. I got one pumpkin from the local store, and when you put your ear up to it, help me. See? Help. Yeah, that's a pumpkin you want. All right, good job, Val. 4 things you didn't know yesterday. Val, during your lifetime, you're going to grow about 590 miles of hair.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just in your armpit.
Oh.
It's your whole body.
On my legs.
just on your legs, and you can't cut it. Great in the wintertime, not so good in the summer.
For sure.
I'm just picturing you with legs so hairy that it's coming out of the bottom of your jeans.
Brad does like himself some Bigfoot Sasquatch.
Ooh, speaking of Bigfoot, big story coming in part 2 of today's show.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yes, Bigfoot in the odd news. All right, let's see. The first YouTube comment to hit 1 million likes was made by Billy Eilish, video Bad Guy. Eilish. The comment that got the first 1 million likes was, I'm the bald guy. Must have been in the video, I guess.
Must have been.
All right. 2014, thieves in St. Petersburg, Florida, stole a tractor trailer loaded with about 36,000 pounds of Crisco.
How do you sell that on the black market?
Well, it was actually found all in one place. It was a giant Crisco tournament. Excuse me. Twister. That's a better joke, right?
That's a better word.
They found it at a giant, Twister convention. You ever played Twister with Crisco?
I have not.
Oh, yeah, no.
I've never played Twister.
Well, don't try it now. You'll lose a hip or a
for
knee.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a new Twister game, but none of us can get down on the ground. All right, tarantulas can live.
Fall.
Last one you didn't know yesterday. Tarantulas can live for up to 30 years.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah, so if you get one now, put it in your will. All right.
What I bequeath to you.
My tarantula. All right. Here comes Val with what a difference a century makes. What was life like 100 years ago today, Val?
Wow. All right. The average life expectancy 100 years ago in the U.S. was about 58 years old.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me
that. 100 years ago, less than half of U.S. homes had indoor plumbing.
Not going to dinner at any of those houses.
No. A 3-minute coast-to-coast telephone call cost about $20.
You remember that? Having like the jacked up phone bills because you made a couple long-distance calls?
Mm-hmm. The maximum speed limit in most cities was 20 miles an hour.
Wow.
100 years ago, most births in the U.S. took place at home. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The average annual income was between $2,200 and $3,400.
I'm rich.
100 years ago, radio was the main form of home entertainment. Television was still 3 years away from being demonstrated.
See, Val, we're old technology.
Yes. And 100 years ago today, women had recently gained the right to vote with the 19th Amendment.
All right. There you go. All right, 100 years ago today. All right. Useless things you memorize that you still remember years later. I was just curious when I saw this one, what useless thing you might have memorized that you still remember. And one of the examples they gave was how many of us could do the 50 states in alphabetical order or the U.S. presidents in chronological order, but we can all do 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
How about my bologna had a first name? It's Oscar.
Right. I remember one my dad taught us, and I think you will too. Two Irishmen digging in a ditch. One called the other one a dirty son of a. I was 8. Thanks, Dad.
It is amazing that the stuff, and I think a lot of that stuff that we can remember is probably lyrical.
Yes.
In some way. So, because I was thinking, I can, if a song comes on from our teenage years, I still remember most of the words. And it's amazing, but I can't remember, if I've already watched that movie or not. So, yeah, I really do think it's lyrical or limerical or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like reciting something you should know, maybe like the Declaration of Independence or something like that. Huh. But you can sing a song, and a goofy song about hamburgers.
That's right. And it used to be that you might have needed to remember the 50 states, even if they weren't in alphabetical order, but now you can just look it up on Google.
That's right. All right, we have phrases that instantly annoy people, like, I just tell it like it is, or I'm just being honest, or I have no filter. Is there a particular one that irritates you, phrases that people use all the time?
I'm sure there is. I just can't pull up one right now.
This was kind of easy for me. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And if you say that to somebody who's recently lost someone, they should punch you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Brad's pretty, hopefully he's kind of censors when he does that, but he will tell people, it's my belief everything happens for a reason. But yeah, if it's you can't say that, your house being lost in a hurricane happens for a reason. People don't want to hear that.
No. All right. I like this one. Hotlanta. As someone who actually lives there, I can tell you no one says that. Hotlanta, I've never even heard of that before.
I haven't either, I don't think.
All right. Also on this list was boys will be boys, which is an excuse for bad behavior.
I agree.
Let's see. The customer is always right. No, they're not.
There's those Karens out there. They're never right.
Oh, yeah. And then I put a couple on the list that bother me. Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
That one gets irritating real quick. And this one deserves a slap as well. It is what it is. That one drives me nuts.
My recent one that I've been reminding my husband a lot of, and I'm sure he'll probably find it annoying after a while, but it's along that line. But I tell him it's not your circus and not your monkeys.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because being a Cancer, I think he stresses about everybody's lives. Oh my God, this is happening, whatever. And I'm like, honey, it's not your circus and it's not your monkeys.
You can switch it up and
Let's
say, stop
go.
armchair quarterbacking their lives.
Yes. And I genuinely think it is because he cares.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like you're stressing yourself out over something that it's really none of your business.
All right, let's move along this morning as we get closer to our break. Val, I would like you to do this. Facts about kissing that will make us want to pucker up even more with Val.
Kissing really is one of the best things we do on this planet. Might beg to differ for some people, but almost no other animals kiss. Chimps and bonobos kiss, but not with the kind of passion humans do.
Okay.
Guys who think they are good looking kiss more. Self-confidence goes a long way here.
That explains so much.
Women value kissing more than men.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's a sign of how they think, if they think their partner loves them.
Sure.
How we kiss with a partner makes us assess our relationship. If you kiss well together, chances are the love will last. All right. Kissing is like a taste test and a smell test. Researchers have discovered that there is a scent we pick up when we are kissing, and it's believed to be related to a person's DNA. Women are most attracted to the scent of a man who has a genetic code most different from themselves.
I just, it came to my mind. I was like, oops, I farted. Sorry.
Well, what if this person has bad breath and you don't? Well, that's a whole lot different from my genetic code, but hey.
Well, if your genetic code matches, you're not going to notice it. Or it's going to be a good halitosis smell.
There you go.
If there is such a thing.
Good chemistry when kissing someone could also mean you will have healthy offspring. Again, it has to do with DNA.
Okay.
All right. And last one, couples who kiss more and make love more have deeper and more satisfactory relationships. But we already knew that, right?
All right. Last one here before we go to break. Job titles that sound sketchy when you add freelance before it. Let's go back and forth, Val. See if we can add anything to the list, too. I'll kick it off. Freelance pharmacist.
I think you usually find them on the street corner.
I think so. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm a freelance pharmacist.
How about a freelance restroom attendant?
I'm here every Tuesday from 3 to 4. Don't do that one. Don't
You're
do the
next
one.
anyway.
Freelance mortician. Makes me want to say, but I'm not dead yet.
Oh, how about the freelance grocery store butcher?
Can I cut that for you? All right. Freelance CEO. Not as much fun.
Oh,
No.
Not as much fun.
No.
How about your freelance neurosurgeon?
That explains a lot.
I feel like that's like Frankenstein, right?
Dr. Frankenstein, freelance
Dr.
neurosurgeon.
Exactly.
I
Which
visited-
brain did you use? Abby? Abby who? Abby normal?
I'm afraid I visited this one last week, a freelance proctologist.
Oh. Oh.
Something's not right.
How about the freelance jouster? Buy one lance, get a freelance.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Something we could elect on November 5th, freelance president.
Or freelance Speaker of the House.
Yeah, oh, don't act like a real president. Freelance freelancer. That's my job. It's all free, baby.
How about if you can I do that one?
Yeah, I put it on there for you, especially, Val.
You lined me up for this one.
I did.
How about the freelance chicken sexer?
Problem is, if you're trying to tell because you need to know, it takes about 10 minutes per chicken. Wow. I wonder if that's a real job.
I wonder.
It might have to be because maybe when they're young you can't tell if it's a rooster or not. I don't know. I don't even know how you tell. All right.
I don't know either.
And I'm not going to Google that. I don't want that in my history.
Especially if you put freelance before it.
Just kind of got a job. I don't know how well it pays.
Oh, boy.
And then I found one for me to wrap it up, Val. What am I going to be?
Freelance masseuse.
Thank you.
I think you should
excellent.
put that on your Tinder profile.
I think I am. Let me highlight that and turn it red, like my passion.
Oh, my goodness.
You hear that, ladies?
Oh.
Looks like everybody signed on to Facebook. Bummer. All right. Val, as we leave, since we're not doing trivia today and you're off the hook, I am going to give you a Halloween riddle, which I think you will get.
Okay.
That might even have been a little hint there. No. All right. This riddle, okay? Who makes it has no need of it. Who buys it has no use for it. Who uses it can neither see nor feel it. What is it?
I know this has come up before with this exact riddle, and now I'm trying to comb through my memory banks and see if I could come up with the answer.
It's for Halloween. So whoever makes it has no need of it. Whoever buys it has no use for it. Who uses it can neither see or feel it. What is it?
It's like a coffin.
It is a coffin. See, you knew. Just takes a little while for those synapses to fire.
Exactly. I had to dig deep into the memory banks.
All right. When we come back, we're going to have celebrity birthdays, a little bit of history. As I was teasing earlier, too, we've got some great wacky but true. It's a big one today, like 7 stories. And one of them is a long story, and it's all about Bigfoot. So it's going to be fun. But you do need to stay right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7, and we will be back in just about 7 minutes. Hang on.
So crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
What are your specialties?
Cat burgers with catsup. Chicken cacciatore.
It's 8:20.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
and by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
This is the Public News Service Daily Newscast for Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. I'm Mike Moen. Federal disaster workers paused and then changed some of their hurricane recovery efforts in North Carolina, including abandoning door-to-door visits after receiving threats that they could be targeted by a militia. The Associated Press says officials revealed that information Monday as FEMA tries to help states recover from Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The government's response to those storms has been targeted by runaway disinformation. Former President Donald Trump and his allies have seized on the aftermath to spread false information about the Biden administration's response in their final weeks before the election. Their debunked claims include false statements that victims can only receive $750 in aid, that emergency response funds were diverted to immigrants, that people accepting federal relief money could see their land seized, and that FEMA's halting trucks full of supplies. In Florida, the storm damage means several community health centers are being pushed to their limits. While some were spared from structural damage, other facilities were not so fortunate. Jonathan Chapman of the Florida Association of Community Health Centers expressed deep concern about the ongoing impact of the storms on the health center network.
I talked to a health center. They just went on one of their sites only to find out that all the windows were smashed in. The rain, the wind caused damage to the point where it's inhabitable.
Officials hope the devastation provides greater urgency in bolstering short and long-term funding for these sites. Federally recognized community health centers provide care for patients in underserved areas, regardless of their ability to pay. Out west, Sublette County is the only county in the state of Wyoming without a hospital. But according to KFF Health News, that's about to change, despite the struggles rural hospitals across the nation face. Kathleen Shannon has more.
A new 10-bed hospital and attached long-term care facility is under construction in Pinedale and slated to open next summer. Residents, who often drive 100 miles for primary care, are excited, says Carrie DeWitt with the Sublette County Hospital District, a district locals voted to form in 2020. About half of rural hospitals lost money in the last year, and nearly 150 have closed or converted to smaller operations since 2010. But DeWitt says that there's more to the equation.
People ask me, how can we afford to have a hospital? And it's actually, we can't afford not to have a hospital because we have to be getting the proper reimbursement rates for the services we're providing.
DeWitt says Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance reimburse services provided by hospitals at a rate about 10 times higher than those offered at a clinic, which is Pinedale's current medical facility. She adds that Sublette County might have a leg up on other rural communities because it receives high revenue from oil and gas industries. This story was produced with original reporting from Sarah Jane Tribble for KFF Health News. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
This is Public News Service. In New York City, election integrity is under added scrutiny after Mayor Eric Adams' indictment. Part of the indictment alleges Adams broke campaign finance laws during his 2021 mayoral bid. But some groups that advocate for good government feel there isn't much cause for concern. Rachel Falls with Reinvent Albany notes that charges against Adams mean the enforcement mechanism works in New York's public matching program for political campaign funds. She says the city's campaign finance board flags any suspicious patterns of contributions.
There's a whole filing and disclosure process that candidates have to go through. By vetting those filings, the Campaign Finance Board can find where they think there are violations. And in this case, it ended up going through to the Southern District, and an indictment resulted from this.
And with the mayoral election next year and Adams vehemently aiming for a second term, Voss notes there are ways to bolster election integrity. One recommendation is for the Campaign Finance Board to hold campaign audits closer to elections, which could boost confidence in the process. In other election news, amid ongoing divisions about election integrity in the U.S., a new national report from the Movement Advancement Project outlines what happens after polls close. The release of the findings is designed to provide more clarity and facts with misinformation still being reported. The project's Brian Hinkle says while there are timeline variations, all states generally take the same careful steps before election results are certified.
For many voters, they cast their ballot, and that feels like the end of the process. But in reality, that's the first step in a deliberate, specific, and careful process to get the final election results.
On election night or the days after, the public gets a look at unofficial results submitted in each state. After that, there are actions like canvassing to ensure the ballots cast are accurate, along with post-election audits to confirm the accuracy of results and check for errors. Turning to education, a new report analyzing nationwide school closures shows in Michigan about 1 in 3 charter schools fails. Judith Ruiz Branch has a look at the findings.
The report says backers of these schools accept closures as a natural consequence of market forces. But Mitchell Robinson on the Michigan State Board of Education suggests charter schools are being treated a lot like dry cleaners or dollar stores. They pop up in strip malls, he says, and can be gone just months later.
Our state is attracting people who put profits before the best interests of kids.
Additionally, he said millions of federal dollars are allocated to Michigan for charter schools that have never opened. The report from the National Center for Charter School Accountability found nearly half of the charter schools that closed nationwide cited low enrollment as the reason. About 20% of closures were due to fraud and mismanagement of funds. I'm Judith Ruiz Branch reporting.
And this is Mike Moen for Public News Service, member and listener supported, heard on interesting radio stations, as well as your favorite podcast platform.
Some of us here, particularly me, would like to buy you a drink and shake your hand.
That's right. We're back for part 2 of your KCHW morning show. You got Scott and Val on Tuesday. And Val, are you with us?
I am with you.
All right.
I thought maybe you could see my coffee cup this morning. It says, I put a spell on you.
Ooh, it comes in and out. Very spooky.
It is very spooky.
Very spooky. Some things, when you're on the screen like that on Zoom and you have the background, some things don't show up and they like to blur out. But I don't know if people noticed during the break, if they happen to look at the screen, you could just see like a cattail going back and forth in front of my face.
All
right.
Cat butt shows up quite well.
It does. All right, let's have you do those celebrity birthdays for today.
All right, let's start with Linda Lavlin, who was in Alice, and she's 87 years old today. Tito Jackson of the Jackson 5, 71. Wow. Sarah Ferguson. Is that Fergie or the other Sarah Ferguson?
I think that's
Must
Fergie.
Be the other one.
I think maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Is 65. TV chef Emeril Lagasse is 65 as well. Vanessa Marcil from Las Vegas and Beverly Hills 90210, 56 today. Former Trading Spaces host Paige Davis is 55. Dominique West from The Wire and The Affair, 55 as well today. Hannah Lay from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody is 28. And finally, Bailey Madison from The Wizards of Waverly Place is 25.
All right, and for this 15th of October, a look at history. We'll start off in 1860 when 11-year-old Grace Bedell of Westfield, New York, wrote a letter to presidential candidate Abraham Lincoln suggesting he could improve his appearance by growing a beard.
Did she specify an Amish one?
Hey, Val, I've got a suggestion for you. Oh, no.
Can you shave my beard?
Shave your beard. All right, 1951. I Love Lucy premiered on CBS. That was a funny show. 1991, Senate narrowly confirmed the nomination of Clarence Thomas to the Supreme Court, 52-48. What a bummer.
What a mistake.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
And a cheat. Oops. 2007, Appleton, Wisconsin. Police received a call reporting a burglary in which the thief apparently entered an unlocked apartment and walked away with pizza, 6 eggs, a can of beef ravioli, a can of peaches, and 1 chicken and broccoli hot pocket, all on the recall list.
I was waiting for that one.
All right, 2008. U.S. presidential candidate Barack Obama became the first candidate to purchase ad space in video games. Obama campaign purchased ad space in Madden 09 and others. Ads appeared on the billboards and other signage within the game. That's clever.
That is clever.
All right. It started in 2017 with actress Alyssa Milano tweeting, "If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write me too." And it prompted a flood of replies across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and then was born. So she gets credit for it.
Okay. I didn't know who started that.
2018, Sears filed for bankruptcy after buying Kmart.
Oops.
Not one of your best decisions. All right. We're in trouble. Let's buy another company that's in trouble, and together we'll be double
Bankrupt.
trouble. Or bankrupt. All right. Moving along, special events. There's a lot of them today. Val, can you make it?
It is I Love Lucy Day.
Of course.
Breast Health Day. Global Hand Washing Day. I guess that's to prevent further outbreaks or pandemics. Information Overload Awareness Day. Already there.
Yeah.
My Mom is a Student Day. Oh, you wanted me to do these because it's Aesthetician Day. That's a hard one to say.
It is.
Cheese Curd Day.
Fun one to
About
say.
Yeah, about some cheese, deep fried cheese curds. Chicken Cacciatore Day. I'm getting all the fun words.
Are you sure?
What are your specialties?
Cat burgers with catsup. Chicken cacciatore.
Oh.
See how that works, huh?
Oh, a day just for Scott. It's a Grouch Day.
No, it's not. It's not my day. That's tomorrow.
Lemon Bar Day. Oh, love me a lemon bar. Mushroom Day. Pharmacy Technician Day, or is that the Freelance Pharmacy Technician Day?
So Mushroom Day, did you see the black mushrooms I found here in Maine?
I know, those are pretty wild.
So, and when it rains on them, so they're black with like white around the edges, but it is truly a black mushroom. And when it rains, they go gloss. So they're like gloss black. They look really cool. All right. Sorry.
Cool. All right. Pharmacy and Infant Loss Awareness Day, the sad one.
Pregnancy.
Pug
Pregnancy
Day.
and Infant Loss Awareness Day. You said,
Did I say pregnant?
You said pharmacy.
Pregnancy.
You said pharmacy.
I thought I said pregnancy.
Oh, maybe I heard pharmacy, but maybe not. Should we rewind it?
All right.
No.
Who's listening? What did I say?
It was Val.
Pug Day.
Oh.
Red Wine Day. Ooh, yes, a Red Wine Day. White Cane Safety Day. And finally, last but not least, Sewing Lovers Day. Gosh, that was a long list.
So I don't know if I'm alone in this, but when I go to someone's house and they have a pug, I like have this reaction of ew, don't touch it.
It must be genetic because I have the same reaction.
Oh yeah, and little chihuahuas with the apple heads and the beady eyes. I'm like, ew, ew. Somebody stop on it. But that wouldn't be legal.
I'm the same thing when I see a Sphinx cat.
Oh, really? For a cat lover?
The hairless cats. No. Get that hideous looking thing away from me. Cats need to have fur.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
All right. Val, what's the number of the day?
150 million.
Okay. What is that?
The tons of rice consumed in China each year.
So I feel like I eat almost that much rice. At least every other day, I have rice.
Rice is, I mean, if I had to choose between mashed potatoes or maybe some sort of pasta, something like that, potatoes even, I'm going to choose rice.
All right. Me too. Let's move on this morning. News and nuggets. A few stories from the lighter side before we hit the odd stuff. Scientists right here, in a fascinating revelation, scientists have uncovered the chilling sounds of the Leshkamp event, a magnetic pole flip that occurred 41,000 years ago, causing a magnetic field to weaken and cosmic rays to bombard the Earth. The eerie noises, resembling wood breaking and rocks crumbling, were captured using data from European Space Agency satellites. Magnetic field, crucial for shielding our planet from solar winds, holds vital importance. Should a similar event occur today, it could wreak havoc on the electric grid and increase solar radiation exposure on Earth's surface. Scientists monitoring the magnetic field believe we are overdue for another flip.
And, you know, I think I've been hearing that for years. Maybe that's just because I'm a science person. But yeah, and they're saying some of that is why we're having problems with the magnetic north. It's no longer, I mean, it's sliding every year.
Yeah, it's changing.
It's changing. And so remember how they used to do way before GPS, how some of the plane landings and things like that, I can't come up with the right term, were based on that magnetic field as your sensor of where ground was and everything. And now, since so much of that is changing, thank goodness there's GPS, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Wow. Scary.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But what's going to happen? Well, I guess the satellites will still be up there, even if our poles shift. So
maybe it'll just be easy. We'll have to just switch like positive and negative battery terminals. I'm hoping.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
Let's forget about the solar radiation exposure and all of that.
All right. Over half of us hide purchases from family and friends out of embarrassment. Val, have you ever been embarrassed by something you bought?
Not that I want to say, or I'll really be embarrassed.
I thought I might be able to trip you up a little. All right. You ever made a purchase that you regretted? If so, you're not alone. Average person spends over $2,400 a year on purchases they come to regret. Our most regretted purchases, that muscle shirt I bought.
Clothes you don't need.
Yeah.
You thought it meant it was going to give you muscles.
Yeah, I did. I didn't think it would accentuate all my fat. All right. Ordering a delivered or carry-out food from a restaurant, why would that be embarrassing?
Yeah, that seems like an odd thing to be embarrassed about, unless instead of cooking at home when you're complaining about how much money you do or do not have, and then you realize all the times you've ordered out. Maybe.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, big ticket technology. Buying that 90-inch big screen my buddy was telling me about the other day.
We bought an 86, and I love it. No regrets there. No buyer's remorse.
All right. Shoes. Kind of the same as clothes. Shoes. Small ticket technology.
Okay.
I don't know why that would be embarrassing.
Instead of big ticket technology, so the small ticket stuff.
Yeah.
Like because I love like lights, as in like strip lights that change colors and all of that stuff. So that would probably be my small ticket technology. Do I regret any of it? No.
So that must be hereditary too, because I have the same fascination. I have so many goofy lights around my house and hanging lanterns. It's like a disco.
Well, and we have Alexa, so it's always, Alexa, turn on the party lights. That's how many lights I have. And the whole place lights up. You can see it from space.
I decided I was taking too much time in the evenings. Every evening I go out around the campground, and I hang lights and lanterns all over the forest. And it takes me about 30 minutes. And I was thinking, like, it's a good walk to get a 30-minute walk, but I thought this is taking too long. I counted them the other day. I have 28 lights that I hang in the woods. Or put on signs or something. But yeah, if you look back into and it's very spooky. We're in the New England states. Our woods, when you look into them in the dark, are scary. And every time you go back there, you hear something moving. So it's extra scary.
It's like the dark forest.
Sammy swears she saw Slender Man one night, or at least somebody naked in front of one of the cabins. That was really, really tall, like 10 feet. So they're spooky, and the lights kind of add to it. So there you go.
But that's fun.
It is fun.
That's a fun stuff. And then you get exercise, and it makes you happy, and all of those things. I love, too, my battery-operated candles. And so they are just everywhere throughout my house. And it really comes in handy when the power goes out because the whole place is lit up anyway. But then when you have to change the batteries and all of those,
it's an ordeal, right?
It's like you better figure out a Costco Kirkland pack of batteries to do it. all just for the candles.
Rechargeable, Val. I'll just say that, rechargeable. So.
Well, I don't have any place to plug all of them in.
All right.
You've got 28 lanterns in the woods. I probably have 28 candles throughout the house.
See, it's a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
All right, Val, will you do the Coca-Cola recall?
Yes, Coca-Cola has recalled 13,152 cases of Minute Maid Zero Sugar lemonade after discovering that some cans labeled as zero sugar actually contained full sugar. This recall is classified as a Class 2 recall by the FDA, indicating that consumption could cause temporary health issues. This is particularly concerning for consumers monitoring their sugar intake for medical reasons. The FDA has not reported any illnesses linked to the recall.
I feel funny.
For one thing, why would you drink Minute Maid Zero Sugar lemonade out of a can?
Yeah, you can make it yourself, right?
It's called Crystal Light. Just pour it out of the package. You're fine.
I'm skipping ahead to this fun one. A shocking discovery in Chicago's West Side neighborhood has left residents and authorities baffled. A human head was found inside an open box on a sidewalk near a sports complex. Chilling find was made by a pedestrian walking their dog just before 6 p.m. on Thursday. Questions loom over the identity of the victim, the cause of death, and how long the remains had been there. Dental records are being examined to assist in the identification. Adding to the mystery, a headless body was discovered in northern Indiana a day after the initial find. Authorities are currently unable to confirm any connection between the two incidents. But if you took the body and the head, you could...
Couldn't you? Yeah.
Yep, it fits.
If you can't confirm a connection, does that mean the neck is missing?
Oh, you got it backwards. Flip it around.
Isn't that usually what connects the head and the body?
Oh. Wow. I really thought it was going to be a story for Halloween and it would be a fake head, but guess not.
But I guess not. It was real. That's pretty bizarre. Sounds like something, like the mafia would send a
Why don't you just leave it on the sidewalk,
message.
We're going to show pedestrians what can happen if you pedestrian. I don't know. I'm sorry. All right, pick one, Val, before we go to odd news.
I was trying to find one as I scroll. Oh, I'm glad to hear this because I spent a lot of time and money buying books for my kids when they were young. Even before they were, could speak, audit, whatever. Anyway. From the Australian National University and University of Nevada, researchers there found that having more books growing up, even if you don't read them, improves educational outcomes. The study found strong correlations between the number of books owned at age 16 and later in life literacy, math, and IT skills. The households with the most books are in Estonia with an average of 218 books per house. Wow. Norway came in second with an average of 212 books per house. The U.S. doesn't crack the top 10.
Ooh. Sad side note on this one. Me and Val grew up, I don't think we ever had books, did we?
Oh, yeah. I had all of the Little House on the Prairie, the set from them, and then later on it was Lord of the Rings. And I was a pretty prolific reader when I was young.
make sense why you're smarter than I am.
You don't remember having books. I can name the ones I did.
No, there was no books in my room. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving along this morning, it is time for today's extra big odd news.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Here we go. We kick it off with a news attack. First sentence true. Second sentence, just a bad joke. And here comes Val.
Despite efforts to reverse the baby shortage, people around the world are saying no to bigger families. Turns out making babies isn't part of a Netflix and chill.
Nope. All right, Dow Jones and S&P 500 both hit record highs on Monday. My investment's not doing so well. My 401k is more like a 401, just almost okay.
It's funny that the Center for Disease Control needs to say but they said you should not dress up your chickens for Halloween. Well, there goes another beloved family tradition, Scott.
Bagok! Why can't you dress up your chicken?
I don't know.
Bird flu?
Maybe.
Huh. All right. Man in Germany tried to fight off a repo man with a chainsaw and some gas bombs before being arrested by a SWAT team. This had never happened in the U.S. At today's prices, no one would waste the gas.
Oh, experts say one day we will unlock our computers by simply thinking of our password, no typing. My problem isn't the hassle of having to type in a few words. My problem is trying to think of my password.
Yeah, so how's that going to help?
Yeah, no kidding. As you're going through all the possible combinations in your head.
And then it just pops up on the screen. That's 3. Come back later. Loser.
Oh, I can't. You know what? My phone even can't recognize my face half the time. How's it going to read my mind?
Or if my finger's wet. That doesn't work either with the fingerprint thing.
Oh, sit in the hot tub and you come out with your wrinkly fingers?
It's not you.
No way it's reading that. No.
All right, here's an invention that never took off. 2007, a tire manufacturer announced that it invented rubber tires for your car that smell of orange, lavender, and jasmine. Honey, I have no idea where we parked the car. I thought we were down the aisle, but oh wait, I smell it.
Smell jasmine. Worst smell on earth too. Oh, jasmine.
So I don't know why you want your tires to smell. I want them in colors. I've always wanted. Like, wouldn't you love some blue tires on your blue Mustang?
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Or instead of white walls, blue walls. It sounded like I said something else. All right, keep going.
Oh. According to researchers, hummingbirds have brains the size of a grain of rice, but have superb memories when it comes to remembering the location of food sources, like feeders filled with sugar water. Okay. I've got a huge brain, and it still takes me 10 minutes to remember where I set my soft drink down. Or my phone.
Or my phone or my keys.
Uh-huh.
A study finds kids who lie well also have superior verbal memories. That's poor consolation if you're a parent. That's like being told your kid is a shoplifter, but don't worry because he has superior manual dexterity.
Oh, boy,
good.
huh?
That's good. We go on to the wonderful world of Wacky But True, where we don't add anything to the stories but a television or movie, sound effects, or collage of them, just to help make the point. And let's get started with the dummies. Val, you're up first.
An intoxicated woman told police in the UK to arrest her after she admitted to throwing a Christmas coffee mug at her husband's head. The woman admitted to cops she was drunk and told them, "Just take me to jail."
Oh, man.
Put your arms around me. Hold on tight. Don't let go.
expert in first aid and CPR.
Isn't the Heimlich maneuver, dear?
Now, put your arms around me.
I will not.
All right, if you think you can hang on, let's go. Now, watch yourself now.
Ah, that was the wrong sound effect, but thank you. Huh. All right, next one. Emergency responders in Argentina needed 3 hours to free a man whose arm became lodged in the toilet while he was trying to retrieve dropped cash. Emergency workers removed floor tiles and uprooted the toilet, but the man remained stuck until they used heavy equipment and a plumber's torch to completely destroy the throne. The man was trying to retrieve $23. Just $23. Would you destroy your toilet valve for $23?
No.
No? All right. I do have this, though.
It was crappy yesterday. It was crappy the day before. And guess what? Hasn't changed.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, he looks pretty crappy.
Well, I live in a crappy neighborhood.
Sorry about that. Where were we?
You were sitting on the toilet.
He's not even toilet trained.
Curse you, tiny toilet! Listen.
One more.
Oh.
Why did the hero flush the toilet? Say why.
Why?
Because it was his duty.
Duty.
Sorry, sorta. Val.
Commuters in a rural Scottish town were delayed when a flock of sheep wandered into the train station. The animals roamed the platforms and even boarded a stationary train. It took station staff and local farmers several hours to round up the sheep and resume normal service.
Oh, give me a home with a sheepherder's room, and the skies are not cloudy or gray.
Listen, sheep herder, you all get them mangy sheep off of this range right pronto, or I'll pump you full of lead.
If she fails us, we better get used to herding goats.
What's up, goat roper?
Sheep roper. I've got a really short one. Burglar in Ireland, easily caught because he was wearing a high visibility fluorescent bib.
I'm invisible. Can't you see that?
Well then, what about invisible sandwich? Hero, imagine eating a sandwich, but everybody just thinks you're crazy. Just stop.
I'm invisible. Can you see me? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
2 hands there, son.
Maybe you should put some shorts on or something.
You're gonna get us thrown out.
Please. With this disguise, I'm invisible.
Dang it.
To the invisible jet.
Oh, boy.
All right. It gets weirder.
It gets weirder. In a TikTok video, which I'm sure you can find online, a UK college student, Sophia Alonso Mossinger, was left speechless when she discovered an unexpected guest in her shipping package. Ordering boots for her Halloween costume, she was met with a real scorpion perched atop the costume through the clear packaging. Initially mistaking it for a toy, she soon realized the chilling reality and screamed, "Oh yes." While contemplating ways to handle the situation, Alonso Mossinger's roommate, who studies zoology, thank goodness, suggested a humane approach. They safely transfer the scorpion to a container and provide it with water until help arrived from the National Center for Reptile Welfare. According to the incident, the online retailer stated, "After receiving the feedback, we immediately conducted an internal investigation."
Okay, so how is reptile welfare going to help him with a scorpion?
I don't know. I'm not very humane because I'd have flushed it.
I'd have opened the box and said,
Look, more strange treats from the Orient.
and then went to the hospital. All right. Your husband's going to love this one. At this summer's Pennsylvania Bigfoot Convention, Brian and Terry Seach dropped bombshell claims about the legendary Sasquatch. According to the eccentric couple, Bigfoot is not only smarter than humans, but also possesses the ability to run at an astounding 100 miles per hour. That's why you don't see him. Fast.
Oh,
yeah.
fast.
Fast. In an interview, the Seaches revealed their belief that Bigfoot is interdimensional, which explains why sightings are rare and fleeting. Fellow convention attendee Stephen Hazlitt took the fantastical theories even further, suggesting that Bigfoot arrived on Earth with aliens and played the role in building the pyramids. Wow. Wow.
None of that is new in the theories surrounding Bigfoot.
Huh.
Yeah, take my buddy Bigfoot. When he was banished, he fashioned an enormous diaper out of poison ivy. Wore it on his head like a tiara.
Yeah.
Called himself King Itchy.
So just for people that are Bigfoot enthusiasts, this is a very popular thing about aliens working with Bigfoot. And I want to point something out to you guys, because this is just, to me, another conspiracy theory, and you're way too far out there. If you go back to the 80s, look up Lee Majors and the $6 Million Man, 3-part episode of the $6 Million Man, which had Bigfoot and aliens. So these people this is a common theme that keep coming around, they've actually kind of based a religion on the $6 Million Man. Just saying. All right.
Just because it's crazy doesn't mean it ain't true.
Yeah. If they said, if they would have used, they beam them up instead of interdimensional, they would have had me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Got you there.
All right.
All right.
Last one.
In Germany, a man who had no ticket became upset when he was forced off a train, tried to get revenge by mooning the entire staff. His pants got caught in the door, and he was dragged down the tracks a few hundred feet before someone stopped the train. I want to see video of that.
I want to see it.
One thing about trains, it doesn't matter where they're going. What matters is deciding to get on.
Pardon the expression, but you look like something the cat dragged in, you know?
Couldn't you have dragged yourself another 20 feet?
We have pictures of you so-called mooners. And just because the pictures aren't of your faces doesn't mean we can't identify you.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Martha, baby, but the G train has left the station.
And you know how those express trains create friction? He got sucked onto the tracks. The third rail. He's toast.
He's toast. Toast. All right.
Oh, boy.
That was tough. That is our show for today. Let's see. Radio tonight. It is Tuesday. That means the one and only Dr. Jazz. Tom Walters comes in, spends his time with you from 6 to 9, playing great jazz music. A lot of times the nights are themed, too. You follow that up if you're a fan of soul music. On 9 to 11, it's the Soul Show. A couple hours of great soul music. And then coming up tomorrow on the morning show, it's Chuck, Paula, and Sharon, and they bring you the lowdown on all the upcoming events in Stevens County and, of course, more importantly, Chihuahua. That's right.
Chihuahua.
So join them tomorrow morning about 7:25 right here on the morning show. Other than that, Val, anything exciting in your life or any closing words?
Exciting? Probably not, but do your best to be kind to someone else today. It will change the world.
There you go. And whatever you do, don't lie. Right? Everyone, just stop lying. Stop repeating things you don't know whether they're true or not. Right?
There you go.
Thank you. And this.
Fact check.
Fact check.
You'll be very careful out there today. We're at Terror Alert Orange, which means something might go down somewhere in some way at some point in time. So look sharp.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for being here, sister. Love ya.
Love you too.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to Mama.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
See that the humans remain entertained until the end.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7
KCHW. Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.
It's 8:59.
Your KCHW morning